professional consult.
It's gonna
There
happen.
you go. Either
It's
way,
gonna happen.
well, I'm terrified. Either way, we're going to get right into it. Game number one, once again, still in best of three territory, but maybe just a little bit more familiar to those of us who were looking for, for end of bracket action. You're talking about something like Ness and Rob, particularly between Dripnotic and Atomic. A little bit of rhyming action going on here in DNA.
I'm not ready for Stu's bars, man. That is, I've been known Stu for a really long time. His bars are not something that me nor the world is ready for, but we hope you're ready for Dripnotic going against Atomic here in this best of three set that we got here. Winners quarterfinals here at DNA. Rob versus Ness. Now, this matchup is... It's interesting. It's got a couple nuances to it, but I think both these characters definitely have the stuff they need to contest each other in most cases, but in more cases than not, that favor does typically go to Rob, mainly because of his out-of-shield game relatively in forward air being that quick burst option in front of him that Ness doesn't really have as easily, but Ness has quite the combo game as well to contest on Rob, the big body, so it all depends on who gets to the punch first.
Yeah, really, because you do... The thing that gives me the most despair in the world is probably Rob Nair. For whatever reason, that thing, I just get hit by it, and it's not fun, and I would just rather I didn't. But then again, Dripnotic not really seeming like they're minding it all that much. Certainly Ness dash attack going to help out once they get past things like laser and gyro, but Dripnotic, as they're going to try to take advantage of their stage control, Atomic is being made to go high, which I would have to think if Dripnotic catches on, it can be right in their wheelhouse.
For sure, and I've been seeing a little bit of fear coming out from Atomic on the way back down, I mean, Rob, that Nair is quite the landing option as the back air actually does take the stock from the other side of the stage, a little bit delayed on the end of Atomic. Mayhaps he back aired or something in the blast zone and just shifted his hurt box a little bit into it or something to propel his way back, but either way, as I was saying, Rob can have a little bit of fear on the way down, especially against a character like Ness. He has Nair, the big hitbox, as a landing option, but it doesn't matter how good of a hitbox that move really is. If you use it too much, even on Wi-Fi, it can get a little bit predictable, and a player with sort of stubby limbs like Ness will eventually start parrying that, so Atomic has to be a little bit careful in that department.
Yeah, you can never be too predictable in these things. You gotta have at least 2 or 3 kill options, right? I mean, unless of course you're Ness and you're PK fire, in which case you can just kind of do that 50 times in a match and win. No, I did not. No, I did not play a Ness on Elite Smash. Why you ask? But
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, no, cool. Either way, we're definitely well adjusted. We are ready to go here. But still, best of 3 winners semifinals. Atomic gonna try to take advantage of this Ness that's in the air, which obviously Nesses like to be, but you're getting knocked around by Rob. They have the tools to kind of keep you in the air against your will. You better be able to get back to the stage as quickly as possible, really as cheekily as possible. It's certainly gonna have to utilize that forward air in order to get that back, as Dripnotic does successfully.
Yeah, it's not even really just Nair, it's also on the stage. That can just be such a terrifying experience for a character like Ness going up against Rob, because Rob's got that out of shield in terms of forward air on point. It's just it's a very good disjoint, not even just out of shield, but also just to poke in the neutral regardless against a shorter and stubby character like Ness and whatnot. Not to mention the fact that Rob's projectile game is immaculate. Like, yes, he's got to be a little careful using that laser every now and again, lest the Dripnotic PSI magnet comes out and he absorbs that. But he's also got gyro, which is the 3, 2, 1 go, and I'm an advantage button. if you want me to be completely honest. And that's a physical projectile, so Ness can't exactly absorb that, but Dripnotic's saying, I don't care none about that. I'll just get in the meat against this robot right here and just up smash him when he's at kill percent, like a good old Ness boy is one to do, and because of that, Dripnotic is up 2-1 in stocks.
Yeah, but still very quickly about to be matched. What can you say? When you call him, Nintunis. But either way, yeah.
Is that a commentator's blessing?
I mean, it's more just, you've seen this before. Like, at the top level of the game, online, a few times, let's say.
Just another day.
Exactly. Catch him with these PK flashes. I do admire Dripnotic's willingness to go for these PK flashes, just try to catch this Rob at a certain spot, or at least dictate exactly where they should not land. The question is, Atomic, not exactly playing nice right now. What does Dripnotic do to confirm this kill if they're not going to fall straight into the neutral bait?
Yeah, he's got to get him up to kill percent first, which, oh my god!
Ooh.
I thought he was about to hit him with the ugly. I thought he was about to try the ugly. Good on Dripnotic, knowing that that was risk-reward right there was absolutely not in his favor. He missed that. This Ness could have easily been dead with Atomic coming back on the way down, trying to bait him into doing another very silly option right there by charging that forward smash, saying, don't go here. This is the no-fly zone, my friends. But still, regardless of all of that craziness coming out from Dripnotic, he is still the one retaining stage control, and with the gyro in hand, Stu, as I say that, tossing it back out. And now it was once again neutrals reset. It's anybody's game, but it's looking like it's Atomic's.
Yeah, and again, when you get grabbed at that percentage, you're a light body like Ness's. I mean, what do you expect is going to happen? You're not going to be let back onto the stage. The entirety of Rob's game involves around controlling that big flat area one way or another. Doesn't really matter if you, the opponent, is on it or not. We're going to take one more look at that. Again, getting knocked around by the gyro, you're trying so much to avoid that, I mean, you're right into the waiting arms, rotors, we're going to say for lack of a better word, arms of Rob. And yeah, that's going to be down throw, up smash to take two of those stocks. Yeah, you call it predictable in Tunis, you can also call it is effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just right back into the loving arms of Rob, the future of AI, They'll get robots to do all sorts of things. If you ever pay attention to the news, that's a topic that's neither here nor there. That's a PK Fire starting this match off, though, against a big body like Rob. That's going to be all sorts of follow-ups for a character like Ness, but he's not able to really capitalize off of it, as Atomic's going to turn it around immediately as we're right back into the slobber knocker, Stu.
I mean, can't spell deepfake without PK, so there's something to be said about that. Nevertheless, yeah, Atomic and Dripnotic going right back to Stadium for this one. Obviously, Dripnotic with something to prove here. I mean, your indication seemed to be that, this was winnable for Dripnotic. I'm just kind of wondering what you think they have to focus on in order to get the job done.
I'm sorry, what Dripnotic has to focus on, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, particularly in neutral, because it felt like there was just a couple interactions away from winning the thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Ness has what it takes to beat a character like Rob. It's just... Not gonna lie, it's harder on his end. It's gonna take a lot more, not even really just patience, Stu, but also mix-ups. One of the things you saw Dripnotic do right there to try and get that back air was actually just jump in, reverse PSI magnet, and stall with it for a second, and then drop it because it has no lag into the back air. He's got to really just mix up his options half the time he tries to get in against a character like Rob, because doing that is not the way to win games, Mr. the Announcer. But continuing on with my thought, it's just so much harder because Rob is the kind of character who doesn't really have to respect more of Ness's options if he doesn't really have to. He's the character who can just do that. He literally just run back, toss the gyro back out. What is Ness going to do about that besides, in a sense, just respect it? He's not quick enough to contest that or beat it to the punch. He's not quick enough to jump in between and punish Rob for it. Pretty much no character is. And he can't reflect it or absorb it or anything like that, because PSI Magnet only does that to energy-based projectiles, which the gyro is not. It's physical. So in terms of getting in, he's just got to really try and do a different thing every time, Stu. That's my answer.
I mean, it makes sense. There seemed like a few options that maybe, in terms of buttons, you could figure something out. But even then, it seems like just an over-reliance on fair or bear if you're trying to do that. And we saw Dripnotic doing relatively well, just breaking out the nairs when Atomic wasn't picking up on the buttons. But then again, you find yourself above the ledge, you are going to get burned, quite literally in this case, as Dripnotic is down to the winner's side stock and getting the Roomba on the ledge.
I saw Boosk on Twitter today saying, best way to get in that, just, hold in, never SDI. Just hold yourself in over and over. He was being incredibly facetious and sarcastic. The whole joke was that it's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. But either way, that's about 45 damage to a damn near stock that Atomic is almost going to take on Dripnotic right there. He's already got him all the way up to 87. Pretty much that's the moral of that story. Just don't trust... I'd say don't trust... It's Boosk, all right? And don't, okay? 39%, about to say 55 up as it slowly tacks on. This is a mountain for a character like Ness to climb against Rob and Dripnotic, but if anybody can do it, Ness can, trying to tack on that damage from a safe distance with the PK Fire over and over again, specifically using the Gyro active hitbox to activate the PK Fire, making sure it's out there, but nothing doing, says Atomic.
Right.
I'm good, man.
Right into the gyro. That is a rough way to go down. But we're going to take one more look at that on the replay. First, the throw to set it up, missing the smash attack. I mean, what do you say about that, man? You went right into the hitbox. The, hey, I'm going to win neutral now button just comes out on the ledge. And the ever exotic gyro snipe off of the ledge with them coming down. It's not something... Maybe, I mean, you see it every now and then, but for what we're used to seeing Gyro for, which, kind of gives Rob its reputation, a bit of a reputation around that character, it's definitely refreshing to see.
Yeah, no, it's definitely funny to see as well. That move just has all its sort of uses. I'm going to cite the, unfortunately not late, but great Glentendo here. Rob is the 3-2-1 go, I'm an advantage character. Because he'll pop the gyro immediately as soon as the controller will allow him to, and that is something that can allow him to regain stage control, which, as you mentioned before, Stu, is not the only thing that we're, that move does. It's sort of refreshing to see it used in a different way, just sniping off the level right there. And against a character like Ness, man, he's got the jumps, he's got the recovery in terms of the raw distance, but in terms of its predictability, you gotta really watch your movement against that move. It's why I personally feel that matchup is pretty discernibly in the favor of Rob. Not by like a giant margin. I'm not saying Ness can't do it or nothing like that, but it's definitely in his favor for a couple of reasons, and one of those would also be the offstage presence. Not offstage presence, but the edge guarding, I should say, and ledge guarding of Rob against a character like Ness. He's just got all those tools, out of shield poke with the forward air disjoints, which you got a disjoint, that's already enough, like Ness is... I feel like he just probably had, some bad experience with, a bully as a kid, probably, picking up sticks, walking home from school, just swinging it at him, Porky, and some sort of weird abuse from his father, because if you ever play that game, it's got some real-life themes to it. No, that's real, play Earthbound. It's got real-life themes to it. Point is, that's why Ness is afraid of disjoints, okay?
Wrong. I'm just saying that sounded a little too real from out your mouth, so